Welcome to Dreamy Tales, a place where gentle, relaxing stories will guide you into a deep sleep. On this channel, we'll be sharing soothing stories to help you unwind and forget the worries of the day. If you enjoy these peaceful moments, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and tap the notification bell so you won't miss any of our bedtime tales. Let's create a space of relaxation together each night. Now, before we dive into tonight's story, let's take a few moments to relax your body and mind. Find a comfortable spot to sit or lie down. Gently close your eyes and take a deep breath. Inhale slowly, feeling the fresh air filling your lungs, and slowly exhale, letting the tension in your body gradually melt away. Repeat this 3 more times. With each breath, feel yourself becoming more relaxed and ready to enter the magical world of stories. Now, loosen your shoulders, gently massage your face, and release any remaining tension. Pay attention to any areas in your body that still feel tight, maybe in your neck, back, or legs, and gently let them relax. Next, we'll do a short guided visualization. Imagine yourself in a beautiful garden under the night sky, with the soft moonlight shining down. You can hear the rustling of leaves in the breeze, the sound of water flowing gently in the distance. Feel the cool breeze brushing against your face. Now that your body and mind are relaxed, let's step into tonight's story. But before we begin, remind yourself that you deserve these moments of relaxation, and let go of all worries as you listen to each word. And now, as you are fully relaxed, let's begin our journey into tonight's tale. Allow my words to guide you into a world of dreams and serenity. Relax and listen slowly. Oh, hello there. Welcome. Please settle in. Find a comfortable spot, perhaps one that feels just right, like a warm hug from the softest blanket, or maybe just the quiet corner of your favorite chair. Let the day gently drift away, like a little boat sailing out on a calm sea. We're going on a journey tonight, a quiet, peaceful journey up among the clouds. It's a place of soft breezes and gentle light, where worries feel impossibly far away. A place where dreams feel close enough to touch. Our story begins in a world that exists just slightly above the one you know. Not high in the cold, lonely vacuum of space. Oh no. But just a little bit higher, where the air is always fresh, and the ground below is often hidden by layers and layers of beautiful, billowy clouds. It's a world of floating islands, connected by pathways of woven moonlight and bridges spun from the strongest yet softest silk, known as sky silk. And in this gentle world lived a soul named Cirrus. Yes, like the delicate, wispy clouds themselves. Cirrus was quiet, not in a shy way, but in a way that meant they noticed the subtle things. The way the light shifted on a cloud bank, the silent dance of the wind currents, the almost imperceptible hum of the world as it floated. Cirrus lived on a medium-sized floating island called Aeris, known for its gardens of glowing moss and its quiet waterfalls that tumbled not to the ground, but into soft, swirling mist below. Life on Aeris was peaceful. There were gentle chores, like tending to the sky silk worms, whose cocoons shimmered with captured starlight, or harvesting the sundew that collected on the highest leaves each morning. But Cirrus had a quiet longing, a gentle nudge in their heart. They had heard tales, whispered on the wind, of places even further out, of cloud formations that shimmered with impossible colors, of islands that were said to float so high they kissed the edge of the twilight. These tales spoke of a very special way to travel, not on the silk bridges, which connected only the closest islands. No, they spoke of cloud ships. Now, a cloud ship isn't like any ship you've ever seen on water. Oh no. These are vessels woven from the thickest, most stable mist, given form by ancient gentle spells whispered by the first cloud weavers. They are powered by the softest, most benevolent winds, guided by the quiet wishes of their passengers. Cirrus had always dreamed of seeing the Aurora Falls, a legendary cascade of shimmering light that supposedly tumbled from the highest reaches of the sky, visible only from certain vantage points high above. Getting there meant traveling aboard a cloud ship, a journey few from Eris ever undertook, as most were content with their quiet, peaceful lives. But the longing in Cirrus's heart was like a soft, insistent whisper, reminding them of the Aurora Falls, of the shimmering light, of the quiet wonder waiting to be discovered. One day, a little note arrived, carried on a particularly kind breeze and delivered by a tiny, iridescent cloud sparrow. The note was simple, written on a piece of paper thin as a cloud petal. The dream weaver is ready. If your heart calls, come. The Dream Weaver. That was the name of the oldest, most gentle cloud ship, said to appear only when a soul truly needed a journey of quiet discovery. Cirrus knew, with a calm certainty, that this was their chance. They packed a small bag with essentials, a warm, soft cloak woven from Eris's own glowing moss, a journal to sketch the wonders they might see, and a handful of sundew drops for refreshment. Leaving Eris was a quiet affair, a few gentle goodbyes to neighbors tending their moss gardens, a final look at the familiar, peaceful landscape. And then Cirrus walked to the edge of the island that faced the open sky. There, waiting, was the Dreamweaver. It didn't look like a wooden ship at all. It was like a formation of particularly beautiful, pearlescent clouds held together by ribbons of soft light. It floated silently, its surface swirling gently like mist, inviting and serene. There was no gangplank, just a soft, glowing ramp that extended from the ship to the edge of the island. Taking a deep breath, a calm, steadying breath, Cirrus stepped onto the ramp. It felt soft and yielding beneath their feet, like walking on a path of moonbeams. As they reached the ship, the ramp dissolved back into gentle light. The deck of the Dreamweaver was unlike anything Cirrus had imagined. It was wide and spacious, covered in a surface that felt like walking on firm, cool air. There were no railings, but a gentle, invisible energy field kept everyone safely within. Soft, cushioned seats, shaped like little nests of clouds, dotted the deck. In the center was a single, tall mast, not of wood, but of braided starlight, from which hung a sail woven from the finest, strongest wind. It shimmered with all the colors of dawn. And there, standing near the helm, was the ship's captain. They were tall and slender, their form shifting gently like smoke, their eyes holding the quiet wisdom of countless journeys. Their name, they introduced themselves softly, was Zephyr. Of course, the spirit of the gentle wind. Zephyr's voice was like the softest breeze whispering through leaves. "Welcome, Cirrus," they said. "The Dreamweaver is yours now for this journey. Where does your heart wish to travel?" Cirrus felt a quiet thrill. "To the Aurora Falls," they said softly, "if the ship will take me." Zephyr smiled, a calm, knowing expression. The Dreamweaver knows the paths to all places touched by gentle dreams, they replied. She will take you where you need to go. Our course is set with the kindest winds. Settle in, Cirrus. The journey has begun. And with an almost imperceptible shift, the Dreamweaver began to move. There was no lurching, no sudden start. It simply began to glide forward, away from the island of Eris, out into the vast, open sky. Cirrus found one of the cloud nest seats and settled in. It was incredibly comfortable, molding perfectly to their form. They lay back, looking up at the sky above. It was a gentle blue, deepening towards a soft twilight on the horizon, even though it was still mid-morning. The light here was different, softer, somehow more luminous. Below, Eris began to shrink, becoming just another small, green-tinged shape floating in the endless expanse of clouds. Cirrus felt no sadness, only a quiet sense of anticipation. This was it. The journey. The Dreamweaver moved silently, cutting through the soft air. There was no sound of engines, only the gentle whoosh of the wind whispering past the sail and the faint, pleasant hum from the ship itself. It felt less like traveling and more like floating, being carried along on a gentle current of peace. Cirrus watched the clouds drift by. They weren't just white puffballs here. Some were like vast sculpted mountains, others thin and wispy like painted strokes. Some glowed from within with soft colors, others trailed long, delicate fringes like lace. After a while, Zephyr came and sat in a nearby cloud nest. The sky has many moods, they said gently. Sometimes it is calm and clear. Sometimes it is full of magnificent, swirling patterns. The Dreamweaver knows how to travel through them all, finding the paths of least resistance, the paths of most beauty. Cirrus nodded, taking it all in. It felt so peaceful, so utterly safe. They were high above everything, but they felt grounded, connected to the gentle pulse of the sky itself. They passed over a field of cumulus gardens, vast, floating landscapes where clouds grew in improbable shapes, tended by quiet little beings made of mist called poffles. The poffles waved tiny, translucent hands as the Dreamweaver glided over, and Cirrus waved back. It was a quiet, heartwarming exchange. Further on, the air began to shimmer. It wasn't heat haze, but something else entirely. Zephyr explained they were passing through an aurora drift, a region where the residual energies of the aurora falls collected and danced in the air. The light here was breathtakingly beautiful. Soft waves of rose, gold, and violet swirling around the ship, casting everything in a warm, ethereal glow. Sometimes, Zephyr murmured, their voice barely audible above the gentle hum. If you listen closely in an aurora drift, you can hear the quiet laughter of the stars themselves. Cirrus closed their eyes and listened. They didn't hear distinct laughter, but they did hear something else. A soft, high-pitched chiming, like distant bells made of crystal. It was incredibly soothing, melting away any lingering tension Cirrus hadn't even realized they were holding on to. They felt their shoulders relax, their breathing deepen, becoming slow and steady. Ah, this feeling. This is what the journey was for. This deep, quiet sense of peace. The aurora drift eventually thinned, leaving behind a sky of soft, deepening blue. As the sun began its slow, gentle descent towards the horizon, the colors around them became even more spectacular. The clouds turned shades of peach, lavender, and deep, warm orange. The light seemed to pour like liquid gold across the sky. Zephyr pointed ahead. "Look," they said, "we are approaching the Whispering Peaks." In the distance, towering cloud formations rose like mountains, their tops lost in the higher atmosphere. These weren't solid mountains, but vast, stable clouds sculpted by ages of wind and light. And as they drew closer, Cirrus could hear it. A low, resonant sound, like a giant voice humming a lullaby. "The Whispering Peaks collect the sounds of the world below," Zephyr explained. "Soft sighs, gentle waves, the rustling of leaves. They are all absorbed and echoed here, transformed into this calming hum." The Dreamweaver sailed slowly alongside the peaks. The hum grew louder, a deep, peaceful vibration that seemed to resonate within Cirrus's very bones, lulling them into a state of deep relaxation. It was a sound of ultimate calm, a sound that said, "Everything is all right. Everything is just as it should be." Cirrus felt their eyelids grow heavy. The gentle rocking motion of the ship, the soft light, the humming peaks. It was the perfect combination for rest. Zephyr smiled kindly. "Sleep now, Cirrus," they said. "The Dreamweaver will watch over you, and the Whispering Peaks will sing you to sleep." Cirrus didn't resist. They nestled deeper into the cloud nest seat, pulling the soft moss cloak around them. The last thing they saw was the gentle, shifting form of Zephyr, silhouetted against the warm twilight sky, and the vast, humming shapes of the Whispering Peaks. And then Cirrus drifted off into a deep, peaceful sleep, filled with soft colors and gentle sounds. When Cirrus woke, the light was different. It was a soft, pearly gray, the kind of light that comes before dawn, or when you're deep within a particularly bright, yet soft, cloud. They felt wonderfully rested, light and buoyant, as if the sleep itself had lifted a quiet weight they hadn't known they carried. Zephyr was at the helm, their form clearer now in the gentle light. They turned and offered a soft smile. "Welcome back," they said. "You slept deeply. We have been traveling through the silent sea." Cirrus looked around. They were indeed in a vast expanse of cloud, but it was different from the others. This cloud was impossibly smooth, like a lake of liquid pearl. There were no distinct shapes or formations, just this endless, serene surface stretching out in every direction. The air was completely still, and there was an absolute, profound silence. Not an empty silence, but a full one, filled with presence and peace. "The silent sea is where the world's quiet moments gather," Zephyr explained softly, their voice barely a whisper, fitting for the place. "It's a place of pure tranquility. The Dreamweaver often comes here to rest, or to offer rest to those who need it." Being in the silent sea was an experience unlike any other. There were no distractions, no sounds, no vibrant colors. Just the soft gray light and the immense, pervasive peace. Cirrus felt their mind become utterly still, like the surface of the cloud sea around them. All the little busy thoughts that sometimes buzzed around their head simply faded away, unable to exist in this profound calm. It was a wonderful feeling, a feeling of absolute quiet, both outside and within. Cirrus sat on the deck, just breathing slowly, deeply, taking in the stillness. It felt like bathing in peace. After what felt like a long, restorative time, Zephyr gently stirred. "We must continue our journey soon," they whispered. "The Aurora Falls are waiting. and the silent sea gives way to the shimmering channels at dawn. Slowly, gently, the Dreamweaver began to glide again, its movement causing the surface of the silent sea to ripple outwards in soft, pearlescent waves. Cirrus felt a gentle pang of reluctance to leave the perfect quiet, but also a sense of calm acceptance. The journey continued. As they moved towards the edge of the silent sea, the light began to change. A soft, golden glow appeared on the horizon, heralding the coming dawn. The smooth surface of the cloud sea began to break up, forming gentle channels and islands of mist. And then they entered the shimmering channels. This part of the sky was filled with delicate, crystalline mist that caught the light in a million tiny refractions. As the dawn light strengthened, the channels around them began to sparkle and gleam, as if they were sailing through a river of liquid diamonds. Tiny, luminous creatures, like fireflies made of dawn light, flitted through the mist, leaving trails of gentle sparkle behind them. Zephyr chuckled softly, the sound like wind chimes. "Ah, the sky jewels are waking," they said. "They love the dawn light. Sometimes if you offer them a quiet greeting, they'll share a little sparkle with you." Cirrus softly whispered a greeting to the air. Immediately, several of the sky jewels zipped closer, circling the ship in a playful dance, leaving trails of glittering light that settled on the deck like ephemeral dust. It was magical and utterly charming. Cirrus giggled, a soft, happy sound. The journey through the shimmering channels was breathtakingly beautiful. Every surface sparkled. Every breath of air felt fresh and alive with gentle energy. They passed by islands of cloud that seemed to be made of spun gold, and through archways of mist that shimmered with all the colors of a rainbow, yet in softer, more pastel shades. Cirrus opened their journal and began to sketch, trying to capture the impossible beauty around them. But it was hard. How do you draw air that sparkles? How do you draw silence that feels full? How do you draw the feeling of gentle wonder? They found themselves focusing instead on simple lines and shapes, trying to capture the essence of the peace and beauty. As the morning progressed, the shimmering channels widened and the mist thinned. The sky above became a clear, bright blue, though still with that unique, soft luminosity of the upper atmosphere. Zephyr pointed ahead. "We are nearing our destination," they said. "Look." Cirrus followed their gaze. In the far distance, rising higher than anything they had ever seen, was a colossal wall of cloud. But this wasn't just cloud. It was vibrant, alive with color, shimmering and swirling with hues that defied description. And from its highest point, a cascade of pure, liquid light seemed to be pouring down, tumbling silently into the clouds below. It was the Aurora Falls. Cirrus felt their breath catch in their throat, not from fear, but from sheer, overwhelming beauty. It was more magnificent, more breathtaking than any tale had ever described. The light wasn't harsh or blinding, but soft and luminous, like captured starlight mixed with the colors of every sunset and sunrise that had ever been. The Dreamweaver sailed towards the falls, slowing its pace, giving Cirrus time to take it all in. The sound of the falls was not a roar, but a gentle, resonant hum, similar to the whispering peaks, but higher, more melodic, like a choir of distant celestial voices singing in perfect harmony. The ship positioned itself in a prime viewing spot, a serene pocket of air perfectly situated to witness the spectacle. Cirrus stepped to the edge of the deck, leaning gently against the invisible energy field, gazing up at the cascading light. It was mesmerizing. Waves of color, soft blues, gentle greens, warm purples, shimmering golds, tumbled down, dissolving into sparkling mist at the base. The light pulsed and flowed with a quiet rhythm, like a giant, silent heart beating in the sky. Cirrus felt a deep sense of peace wash over them. All the quiet longing that had started this journey, all the gentle anticipation had led to this moment. And it was even more wonderful than they could have imagined. It wasn't just seeing the falls, it was being here, in this peaceful place, carried by this gentle ship, surrounded by this profound beauty and calm. They realized something then. The journey wasn't just about reaching the destination. It was about every soft breeze, every shimmering channel, every moment of silence, every gentle creature they had encountered. It was about the quiet unfolding of the world around them and the quiet opening of their heart to receive it. Cirrus sat down on the deck, crossing their legs, and simply was. They watched the Aurora Falls cascade, letting the gentle light and the harmonious hum fill them. They felt utterly content, utterly at peace. Time seemed to lose its meaning here, near the falls. There was only the flowing light and the peaceful sound. Cirrus didn't know how long they sat there. Maybe minutes, maybe hours. It didn't matter. Eventually, Zephyr approached again, their form catching the shifting colors of the falls. "The falls are a place of reflection," they said softly. "They show us the beauty that is always flowing, always present, even when we cannot see it." Cirrus nodded, understanding. It was like the quiet peace they had found on this journey. It had always been within them, just waiting for the right gentle wind, the right quiet path to be revealed. Zephyr continued, "The Dream Weaver will stay here as long as you need, Cirrus, until your heart feels full and ready for the return journey, or perhaps for another path." Cirrus felt their heart. It felt quiet, warm, and yes, full of beauty, full of peace, full of a gentle kind of joy. They knew they could stay here forever, just watching the falls. But the journey had also shown them the quiet beauty of the traveling, of the discovering. "I am ready," Cirrus said softly, their voice calm and clear. "Ready to return, and to carry this peace with me." Zephyr smiled again. "Then the Dreamweaver is ready too." Slowly, gently, the ship turned, bidding a silent farewell to the magnificent Aurora Falls. The cascading light began to recede. The harmonious hum grew fainter, but the feeling they had inspired remained strong within Cirrus. The journey back was different. It wasn't about eager anticipation, but about peaceful reflection. Cirrus revisited the quiet wonders they had seen with their mind's eye. The gentle poffles waving, the sparkling sky jewels, the profound stillness of the silent sea, the lulling hum of the whispering peaks. Each memory was like a soft, warm stone they could hold in their hand, feeling its smooth, comforting surface. They passed back through the shimmering channels as the sun rose higher, the light now bright and cheerful. They glided over the place where the silent sea lay, feeling its presence below like a deep well of calm. They sailed alongside the whispering peaks, hearing their gentle hum as a familiar, welcome sound. Zephyr navigated the ship with a quiet grace, their movements fluid and effortless, like the wind itself. They didn't speak much, allowing Cirrus the space for their quiet thoughts and reflections. Cirrus realized that the peace they felt wasn't dependent on the spectacular sight of the Aurora Falls. It had been woven into every single moment of the journey. It was in the gentle movement of the ship, the softness of the cloud nest seat, the simple act of breathing in the clear, fresh air. It was in the quiet connection to the world around them. They thought about their home island, Eris. It was peaceful, yes, but they had felt a longing there. Now they realized that the longing wasn't for elsewhere, but for this feeling. This deep, quiet connection, this sense of wonder and peace. And they knew now that they could find this feeling not just on a cloudship journey, but also in the quiet moments back home, if they only remembered to look and to listen. As the sun began its slow descent towards the horizon once more, painting the sky in soft, warm colors, Zephyr spoke. "We are nearing Eris, Cirrus." Cirrus looked ahead. Yes, there it was, the familiar shape of their island floating peacefully in the sky. It looked different to them now, somehow brighter, more vibrant. They saw the soft glow of the moss gardens, the gentle tumble of the misty waterfalls, the quiet life happening there. The Dreamweaver slowed, approaching the edge of the island where Cirrus had first stepped aboard. The soft, glowing ramp extended once more, connecting the ship to the land. Cirrus stood up from the cloud nest seat. They felt different, not just rested, but quietly changed. The longing was gone, replaced by a deep sense of peaceful contentment. They turned to Zephyr. "Thank you," they said, their voice filled with sincere gratitude. "Thank you for the journey and for showing me the paths of peace." Zephyr inclined their head gently, their form shimmering slightly in the twilight. "The path is always there, Cirrus," they said softly. "Sometimes we just need a gentle wind to guide us to see it. Carry the peace you found with you. It is yours to keep." With a final, gentle look at the beautiful, ethereal form of the Dreamweaver and the serene presence of Zephyr, Cirrus stepped onto the glowing ramp. It felt just as soft and yielding as before. They walked back onto the familiar ground of Eris. As their foot touched the island, the ramp dissolved into soft light, and the Dreamweaver, with Zephyr at its helm, began to drift away, silently, gracefully, back into the vast, deepening twilight sky, ready for its next quiet journey. Cirrus stood at the edge of the island, watching until the Dreamweaver was just a faint shimmer in the distance. Then just a feeling, and then it was gone. They turned back towards their home. The air on Eris felt familiar, comforting. The moss gardens glowed with their soft, steady light. The misty waterfalls tumbled with their quiet sound. But Cirrus saw it all with new eyes, eyes that had seen the infinite peace of the silent sea, the gentle wonder of the shimmering channels, the breathtaking beauty of the Aurora Falls, and the deep calm of the whispering peaks. They walked slowly back towards their quiet cottage, their heart feeling light and peaceful. The world around them seemed to hum with a gentle, subtle music they hadn't noticed before. The worries that had seemed significant before the journey now felt small, distant, like tiny clouds on the far horizon. Cirrus knew that life wouldn't be perfectly peaceful every single moment, that there would be busy days and little challenges. But now they knew the path back to this feeling of calm. It wasn't a place to travel to, but a place within themselves. a place they had visited aboard the Dream Weaver, and a place they could return to any time they closed their eyes and remembered the soft glow of the Aurora Falls, the quiet hum of the whispering peaks, the deep stillness of the silent sea, and the gentle, gentle movement of the Cloudship gliding through the sky. As Cirrus reached their cottage, the first stars began to appear in the darkening sky, shining with a soft, welcoming light. They stepped inside, the familiar scent of dried herbs and glowing moss welcoming them home. They didn't feel alone. They felt connected to the vast, peaceful sky, to the gentle wind, to the quiet magic of the world. They felt the peace they had found was now a part of them, like a warm, comforting glow in their chest. And as they prepared for rest, Cirrus knew that even without the Dream Weaver, they could revisit the quiet sky whenever they wished. By simply breathing deeply, by remembering the feeling of floating gently, by recalling the beautiful, peaceful sights and sounds. So now, perhaps you can do the same. Imagine yourself aboard the Dream Weaver, feeling the soft air, seeing the gentle colors, hearing the quiet hum. Let the worries of your own day gently, gently drift away, like clouds on a kind breeze. Feel the comfort of your own quiet space, like a soft cloud nest seat. Breathe in, slowly, deeply, and breathe out, letting go. Imagine the Dream Weaver gliding silently through the peaceful sky, carrying you towards a place of calm. The air is soft, the light is gentle, there are no harsh sounds, only peace. Perhaps you are in the silent sea, feeling the profound stillness settling within you. Or perhaps you are near the whispering peaks, letting their gentle hum lull your mind into quiet. Or maybe you are simply floating, weightless, feeling utterly relaxed and safe. Wherever you are in this quiet journey, know that you are held gently, surrounded by peace. There is nothing you need to do, nowhere you need to be, except right here, right now, feeling calm. Let the soft colors of the twilight sky wash over you. Feel the gentle rhythm of your own breathing, the quiet beat of your heart. You are safe. You are peaceful. You are loved. Let the feeling of relaxation deepen with every gentle breath, sinking down, down into comfort. Perhaps you can still see the Aurora Falls, their light flowing like a river of peace, or feel the soft sparkle of the sky jewels dancing around you. All the beauty, all the calm. It is here for you. Let your eyelids feel heavy, so heavy. Let your body feel soft and relaxed. The Dream Weaver sails on, carrying peace on its gentle wings, and you are a part of that peace, drifting, floating, serene. There is nowhere else you need to be, nothing else to think about, just this quiet moment, this gentle journey. Let the peace flow through you, like a soft, warm current, easing away any last trace of tension, any last whisper of worry. You are completely safe, completely relaxed, sinking deeper and deeper into perfect peace. The stars are beginning to twinkle gently in the sky above the Dream Weaver, each one a tiny point of calm light. You are drifting peacefully, comfortably, drifting towards sleep. The gentle hum of the Cloudship, the soft whisper of the wind, the deep calm within you. All is well. You are safe. You are loved. Sleep now, gentle one. Sleep well. Sleep deeply. The Dream Weaver will continue its quiet journey, always there, waiting whenever you need to find the path of peace again. Good night. Sleep now. Sleep peacefully. Sleep.